This is your ABC 10 News Streamline, everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. President Trump is reportedly taking new security precautions after the Secret Service found what they're calling a hunting stand that had a direct line of sight to Air Force One. It was found next to Palm Beach International Airport just before the president arrived on Friday. A White House official tells Fox News the president boarded the plane a little differently last night, using a faster, smaller staircase instead of the larger ramp that he typically uses. This hunting stand was found just less than a year after two assassination attempts against the president in 2024. Meanwhile, the president says the Israel-Hamas ceasefire is holding despite Israel's strike on Gaza over the weekend. ABC sources say two officials who helped broker the deal, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, arrived in Israel this morning. Two Israeli soldiers are among the dead. Gaza hospitals say more than 40 people died in the airstrikes. Both Hamas and the IDF blame each other for violating the ceasefire. These strikes temporarily halted aid into Gaza yesterday, but a senior Israeli official says humanitarian aid shipments will continue today. And in Tel Aviv, the derby between rivals Hapoel and Maccabi was called off on Sunday morning because of violent clashes between fans. Look at this video. It captures grenades and fireworks being thrown onto the pitch ahead of the match. There were 48 smoke grenades thrown. More than a dozen people were injured. A manhunt is now underway in Paris for the thieves who stole some of France's crown jewels from inside the Louvre. Authorities say the heist took only minutes. Several people disguised as construction workers broke into the museum's second floor using this mechanical ladder. They slipped into the Apollo Gallery, cracked open a display case, and got away with jewelry that once belonged to Emperor Napoleon and his wife, including priceless crowns, necklaces, and earrings.
Fears that it gets broken up and sold because a consumer will have a very, very difficult time telling that, hey, this emerald came from, say, a crown.
The last time there was a robbery at the Louvre was in 1911 when the Mona Lisa was stolen. Overnight, a widespread internet outage knocked out some of the web's most popular sites like Snapchat, Roblox, and Amazon. The Amazon cloud computing company says it had issued a series of updates that had caused the error. An artillery shell fired during the Marine Corps' 250th anniversary celebration detonated over the 5 freeway Saturday and hit a California Highway Patrol vehicle. The celebration at Camp Pendleton included live fire. CHP shut down a 17-mile stretch of the freeway in both directions because of it. No one was injured, but CHP says the shell made a dent in the hood of a vehicle. Another patrol officer working the freeway closure says he heard what sounded like pebbles hitting his motorcycle. CHP's Border Division Chief Tony Coronado called it a, quote, unusual and concerning situation, but said that safety is their top concern. Officials are now recommending a review of communications and coordination within all the agencies to try and strengthen protocol for any future demonstrations. Governor Newsom responded on X to all of this, writing, quote, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance put lives at risk to put on a show. If you want to honor our troops, open the government and pay them. Speaking of that government shutdown, today the federal agency that oversees the U.S. nuclear stockpile is furloughing most of its staff because of the shutdown. A spokesperson for the Department of Energy says about 1,400 workers at the National Nuclear Security Administration will get furlough notices. Fewer than 400 workers will remain on the job to safeguard the stockpile. The agency was created in 2000. It has never furloughed federal workers until now. Sources tell CNN, despite the disruption in operations, the nuclear stockpile is reliable and there's no threat to national security. The U.S. military attacked another boat that officials believe was involved in drug trafficking. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said 3 men on the boat died in the airstrike. This attack happened Friday. Hegseth said the boat was affiliated with a terror group in Colombia and had substantial amounts of drugs on board. This is the 7th known strike that the U.S. military has carried out against suspected drug smugglers in the Caribbean. Now to your consumer news. Homeowners beware. There are fake garage door companies targeting neighborhoods. Scripps News Group's consumer reporter John Matarese shows you how to spot them and keep the door closed on those scams.
If you're having a problem with your garage door, most of us would call a repairman to have it fixed ASAP. But in our haste to get someone out soon, you could end up the victim of a garage door ripoff.
Jamie O'Neill encountered a problem. A spring snapped on her garage door.
You can see them in this crevice here.
But that was just the start of her troubles.
So I got on my phone and did a Google search for garage door services near me.
She called the first company she found.
It was for one spring, $400 out the door, for two springs, $500 out the door.
The price sounded reasonable, but she says the worker who arrived in an unmarked van slapped on additional fees.
He initially agreed, and then it was knock, knock, knock. There's a problem. Let's add more parts, more money.
He said the garage needed new cables.
So by the time we get done, it's not just springs, it's springs, drums, cords, braces.
Her total bill, $1,258.
He gets the work done and the garage door doesn't work.
And this is our warehouse.
Bradford Rogers is a manager at PDQ Doors, a top-rated door installer. He says shady garage door repair companies have become a major problem, saying some have even pretended to be with his company.
Sometimes those competitors aren't necessarily legitimate competitors. They are illegal operations posing as a legitimate garage door company, and they're really not.
He says a repair person should have an ID and a marked truck like this. If you need garage door help, the Better Business Bureau has this advice. Don't simply call the first company that pops up in a search. Make sure you're dealing with a local business with a local address. Check for reviews and ratings. And before work begins, have a written estimate.
They're fast talkers. They make you feel like you're getting a deal when really you're not.
So you don't waste your money. John Matteries, Scripps News Group.
Speaking of money, Halloween is next Friday, and consumers are the ones that are really going to be scared because according to Wells Fargo, cocoa prices have more than doubled since last year, and that's driving up the price of chocolate. So what can you do to save money when trick-or-treaters come around?
The longer you wait, the better you're going to do on price because retailers will be looking to clear that merchandise out. Anything holiday themed, specifically for Halloween, they're going to be wanting to move that merchandise.
Yeah, wait till the last minute to buy your candy is always a great idea. And for ways to save on costumes, you can go to thrift stores. You can find used costumes or, piece together your own. Think about it, that kid with that giant pillowcase full of chocolate is basically sitting on thousands of dollars right now. That's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.